No. You rise to the occasion. Experience comes with age, and I've been hearing a lot about age, you know?
Now, and I finally get to check that off my list, and I knew this was going to be a big fight. The build-up for this is huge. The press conferences are entertaining. It's a spectacle.
With just 17 days until Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul collide, the atmosphere grows heavier every hour. Both men are pushing their bodies to the extreme as the deadline approaches. Joshua sharpens his timing, footwork, and knockout power, while Jake pushes through brutal conditioning sessions trying to match the pace. At this stage, every minute inside the gym counts. The tension surrounding this clash keeps rising, and the sense that something explosive is coming becomes impossible to ignore.
And I have nothing but love for him, but I'm going to knock him out respectfully, and you know, we can hug and kiss afterwards, specifically kiss.
Joshua's entire training setup has changed, creating a completely different energy in camp. After his knockout defeat in September 2024 and the elbow surgery that followed, this camp carries a level of urgency he cannot escape. He's been grinding through conditioning, technique polishing, and advanced ring IQ sessions under the guidance of Oleksandr Usyk's coaches. Joshua openly admits the switch has been tough, but necessary. The fresh environment forces him to push harder, reset his mindset, and rebuild the confidence he lost. Every drill he does is part of a bigger mission to return not just stronger, but smarter. And to fight like this comeback defines the rest of his career. Every morning, Joshua shocks his body awake with freezing ice baths that test both his physical limits and mental toughness. The icy water reduces inflammation, speeds up recovery, and prepares him for the punishing workload ahead. He believes these freezing moments sharpen his concentration and strengthen his discipline. It's a routine that speaks loudly about his commitment. He is leaving no room for weakness as the fight draws near. Inside the gym, Joshua is surrounded by a culture built on precision, discipline, and constant adjustment. His coaches focus on his rhythm, his balance, the way he shifts his weight, and the variety of punches he throws. They push him to abandon old habits and refine his boxing intelligence. Ringside observers notice how seriously he takes every correction. He is not relying on raw power anymore. He's learning angles, spacing, and timing, like a veteran who wants to dominate the unpredictable moments of heavyweight warfare. His movements grow more calculated as he switches between tight defense, head movement, and explosive countershots. The environment around him forces growth, not just in muscle, but in mindset.
You know, Simon, I think he's at that stage of his career where he's trying to rediscover a little bit of that confidence. He's gone to Oleksandr Usyk, where we're hearing reports he's out there, training with Usyk and the team, trying to pick up something, trying to rediscover something.
That's very strange, Paul.
It is, but it's not unheard of. I've heard of a lot of fighters doing that. You see fighters, obviously, it's the old Rocky movies years ago, but you see a fighter losing to someone, all of a sudden they go in the camp and they start training and doing little bits together and become friends or whatever else. I think it'll do Joshua no harm travelling, but as you say, he's a little bit long in the tooth and he's a bit on the back nine rather than the front nine, where that experience would really come into play. But I'm just looking at his record here. He obviously, after the Usyk fight, he's come back and he had 3 fights and then the Ngannou demolition
Well, yeah,
job.
Jermaine Franklin, he had Robert Helene, he had Otto Wally, and he smashed Ngannou, which everyone went hallelujah for, right?
Yeah, but he's obviously not in like the box rec rankings to see where he is. But the Dubois fight is a fight where, what you've just said then, Spencer, like, match him right. I felt he was match right with Dubois. That's just my opinion.
Just felt
Obviously, I was wrong on that and I was proved wrong, but I felt like Joshua would have and should have came through that, but he obviously didn't. So therefore, it's back to the drawing board, and where do you go from there? What do you do from there? Does he keep the same team around him? Does he go and find someone new and try and adapt and add to his repertoire already? And this move at Usyk, I don't know what it'll be, but if he's fighting before Christmas, then he needs to get in shape quick, because there's only 8 weeks to go, let's say.
Well, my understanding, he's in camp, he's in shape, and just looking to get an out and get back to winning ways, is my understanding. That's why they're talking about 8 rounders.
Yeah.
He wants to sort of go under the radar a little bit, and it's difficult for someone like Anthony Joshua because he's such
Very much so.
commercial commodity.
He's always been in shape all the time.
Yeah.
He always will be in shape. He's never, ever not been.
But it's not about his physical shape, is it? No one's ever questioned his physical state. Zach, when I was talking about Anthony Joshua, and I know that the president of his fan club is here in Spencer, but I talked about the PTSD issue post various fights, whether it be the Alexander Usyk or the Daniel Dubois situation. But prior to Daniel Dubois, I always maintained that I felt that despite the performance against Jermaine Franklin, despite the performance against Robert Helenius, which had been blasted out by Deontay Wilder, and we've seen what Deontay Wilder is now.
Eddie Hearn understands exactly what this fight means and doesn't sugarcoat it. To him, this matchup holds career-defining consequences for Joshua. A loss here would raise tough questions about whether continuing is even worth it. But despite the severity, Hearn's trust in Joshua hasn't wavered. He sees a man who rebuilt his discipline and approached camp with a seriousness equal to a world title fight. Hearn believes Joshua's renewed focus, consistent sparring, and rebuilt mindset will carry him into the ring with purpose. Reports from inside the gym describe a fighter training with calm intensity, pushing himself even under enormous pressure. Instead of bending under the weight, Joshua embraces the challenge, head on.
Was saying that you and AJ must retire if Jake Paul wins on December 19th. Stand by that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, well, I suppose so. Shit, yeah. Look, I don't see a world where Jake Paul wins this fight. I know that boxing's boxing. I mean, what was it? Roy Jones came out this morning and said Jake Paul can win this fight.
Teddy Atlas as well.
Teddy Atlas? Okay. All right, now I'm a bit worried. I won't retire. AJ should retire if he loses. No,
Just look. Sorry.
no, I see AJ winning this fight with ease, comprehensively, destructively, violently. And I don't see a world where Jake Paul is competitive in the fight, let alone win the fight. But luckily, AJ's not preparing in a way that he just thinks it's a joke. He's preparing for Jake Paul like he's a world title contender. Yes, it's been a little bit of a shorter camp. Yes, we've got to make weight this time around, but it doesn't matter. We should just slide through this guy and bash him up and beat him up, and we should do it early doors.
Just lastly, you said as well that you told Nikisa that he was weighing 290 when you were negotiating. What impact did that have? Did you feel like they would have gone even lower if they knew he was weighing 265?
I don't think that when you're negotiating on a weight, there's not one promoter in the world that would tell the truth about what the weight of the fighter was. And Nikisa knows that anyway. So it wasn't like we were being clever, but they wanted him to come to 240. And it's just, don't forget, AJ's never made weight before. So all of a sudden, he's tried, he'd been in camp for, 2 or 3 weeks. And he's probably sitting at, 260, 265. And it's like, you got to make 245, it's 20 pounds.
Joshua's confidence is fueled by the elite sparring partners who've joined his camp. Footage shows him exchanging heavy shots with top-tier heavyweights, each bringing a different type of fire. Jared Anderson brings explosive aggression and non-stop pressure, forcing Joshua to stay alert and react quickly. Anderson exposes any slow reaction instantly, keeping Joshua honest every round. Frank Sanchez challenges him in a completely different way with slick footwork and technical precision. Sanchez forces Joshua to think, adjust, and move strategically rather than relying only on strength. These sessions are more than hard rounds. They recreate elite-level danger Jake Paul has never experienced. Each sparring partner sharpens Joshua's timing, accuracy, and ability to change tactics in a heartbeat. They transform him into a more complete and adaptable fighter as the countdown continues.
Paul's being dwarfed by these way bigger heavyweights like Jared Anderson, Frank Sanchez, and Lawrence Okolie. Okolie is like 6'4.5", 6'5", and these guys are like 6'3", 6'4", probably. So now Jake Paul is the one that's smaller. So first of all, I will give credit to Jake Paul. Clearly, he's a person who is taking his career seriously. These are quality sparring. I mean, a real boxer, because people say he's not a real boxer, but a real boxer would be using the same guys in their sparring camp. In fact, I just told you Joshua used Lawrence Okoli. I don't know if he sparred with Anderson or Frank Sanchez, but these are all regular ranked heavyweights. So credit to Jake Paul for that. And I mean, he's gonna need it. Joshua is a different breed to, like, you know, a Mike Perry when it comes to boxing. Different frame, different size. In case you didn't believe me, right? Jake Paul, this is what MVP Promotions posted. So Jake Paul top sparring, right? Heavyweights. And here's some pictures of Joshua with Lawrence Okoli. And again, Joshua, a big dude, but you see Lawrence Okoli, and he probably was cruiserweight back then. I mean, I don't know exactly when this picture was taken, but he's only like an inch shorter than Anthony Joshua. And now, as he's moved up to the full heavyweight, he has filled out more. You see, he looks even bigger than when he was a cruiserweight. Now, I gotta research it, but I wanna say, I thought Lawrence Okoli was injured